Good afternoon, students. Today we are going to go through a workbook question from chapter 5, exercise 4, question 2. This is on page 53 of your workbook. All right. So for this question, the requirement here is for you to prepare a statement of financial performance and a statement of financial position. Okay, if you think you know how to proceed with this question without looking at my video, please go ahead and try it on your own and then see whether you can get the final answer. But if you think that you need help, stay and tune to the video and continue watching it. If you want a partial answer of the question, this is it. So you can check against the one that you've prepared whether you are on the right track or not. So now I'm gonna discuss the question. All right, now let's get started on doing this question. Now, before you do the two statements, there's always a step one where you need to categorize the accounts first. If you know how to categorize them, it makes it easier when you do your statement later on. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and categorize accounts that belong to the statement of financial performance. I'm going to use blue ink for me to label them first. So essentially, accounts that are found in the statement of financial performance, right? Okay, in case you have forgotten, your statement of financial performance should only have income and expense accounts. Let me finish writing this down. Okay, this should only have income and expense accounts. Okay, if you are doing statement of financial position, you should only have your assets, liabilities, and your owner's equity. Okay, so I'm going to start with labeling the accounts that belong to statement of financial performance. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and label the accounts belonging to statement of financial performance. When your numbers are presented like this, it makes it easier for you to identify which account is an income and which account is an expense, provided that you know that they are either income or expense accounts. Because for income accounts, you know that if you follow the Alice rule, income should have a credit balance, whereas expense should have a debit balance. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and label them right now. Then the accounts that are going to be labeled for the other statement of financial performance will also be shown here, but it will be fast forwarded. So let's go through the list. Okay, it just so happens that nicely the income and expense accounts, they are all listed in the first few rows. Okay, so now I'm done with the accounts belonging to income and expense, which goes to the statement of financial performance. After this, I'm going to label the ones from statement of financial position. Belonging to the statement of financial position, which is essentially your assets, liabilities, and owner's equity. It's also easy to identify when the accounts are categorized like that with the debit and credit balance shown, because you know that assets should have a debit balance, liabilities should have a credit balance. Now for owner's equity, it can either be debit or it can either be credit, yeah, because if it's a debit balance, means it belongs to your drawings, and then if it's a credit balance, is for your capital. Now there's another item that is also under owner's equity, which is your profit for the year. This number is not given because profit for the year is something that you need to find out when you do your statement of financial performance. Okay, So you need to do your statement of financial performance first, then you will know what is your profit for the year for it to be categorized under owner's equity. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and label the accounts that belongs to the statement of financial position with its correct subcategories. Alright, so I'm done with the labeling. The good thing about this question again, there's no adjustment for you to do. So once you're done with the labeling, you can go ahead and do the statements, the two statements. All right, I'm just showing you a teaser of how the final product should look like. This is the answer for the statement of financial performance. Okay, remember that every time you are doing the statement, right, you must always start off with the business name on top and then the title of the statement. In this case, statement of financial performance for the year ended 31st December 20x2. Okay, I've given you some of the numbers. I've also listed down the accounts, so it's up to you to write down what the numbers are. Okay, so this is for part A. So once you're done with the statement of financial performance, you get the profit for the year. You can port it over to the statement of financial position. On the next page, it's another teaser of how the statement of financial position should look like. Okay, so this is how you should categorize them. Okay, you start out with the title on top and the business name, and then you put down the category labels. Okay, and the number for total assets should be 263,000. It should equal to the total equity and liabilities as well. All right, so once if you can get this two number right, then that means you are on the right track. All right, so I want you to try this question out. On top of doing this question, your homework is also for you to do question 1, question 2, this question, and question 4 of chapter 5, exercise 4 of your workbook. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you very much.